Ignite the spark within oneself to light the path of holistic health.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Holy Health Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch. Thanks for joining us today. As always, I'm joined here with the amazing and beautiful Amanda, my wife. What's up?
I feel like I'm going to be sweating.
It's pretty warm.
It's pretty warm in here. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to turn red. But what's up?
You look like you got some sun today.
I mean, kind of, but not really. I think I'm just hot.
Yeah.
Like I was outside, but it wasn't that sunny.
Yeah, it was pretty muggy today. It's quite the humid weather right now.
Yeah, I ran. Well, I was trying to sleep in, which that means I wake up 700 times and try to fall back asleep 700 times because that doesn't exist around here. So I was trying to sleep more, I guess you could say, because I have a big drive coming up tomorrow night. So I wanted to be well rested. So my morning routine was all messed up because I wanted to prioritize Lily going for a walk over my running. So I didn't run until like 10 o'clock. And it was after I ate, not right after, but like I already ate breakfast and I'm a fasted runner.
Yeah.
But I was running and I was like a tomato. I was so red and hot. I was like sweating. It was terrible. But I got it done. Hi, Molly. Whoa. So that was what not all I did today, but that was my hot weather story for the day. But I don't know. I don't have anything else to report. I'm just out here surviving.
Well, what are you doing that you need sleep?
I mean, we're going to DC. We're going to a concert. It'll be over by the time you hear this, but we're going to a concert tomorrow, which I bought the tickets almost a year ago.
A lot has changed since you bought the tickets.
Yeah, because I had big plans for this trip, and now it's just a day trip. But initially, I was like, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. We're going to do this, and it was like a thing. And now it's like, we're just going because I don't want to miss the concert. And everything else got thrown away, just like everything else in my mind and desires. That's why, like, when business people are like, you got to create a year and a 5-year plan. I'm like, why? I just don't see a point. I don't see a point in anything anymore, so I'm probably not in a great headspace to, like, think about that. But it just doesn't work. Like, what we were pursuing and what we were desiring and doing last year is, like, completely different than this year. Like, think back to last August compared to now. It's, like, so different. Like, we don't want the same things. We were still house hunting for your old job.
Yeah. You'll have that, but...
I mean, that seems like all the time, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, plans for the regular people, which is what we are currently. It's usually, most of the time, doesn't stick, like, it changes. It's constantly changing and evolving, and, like, there's not, like, a 5-year plan that's, like, a definitive, like, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then eventually this is going to be this way. Like, a business can grow and evolve, and you can scale it up. Like, that's more, what's the word? Is it qualitative or quantitative? I can never remember the difference, but...
Well, quality versus quantity.
I don't know.
Anyways.
But, it's easier to measure when you have, like, a brick and mortar business or something that you're actually making money on and, doing things for. But yeah, your mindset's probably altering that as well.
Probably. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Where are you at? How are you?
I'm pretty good. What else? I don't think anything's really changed in my world too much. Had a good workout today. My legs are super sore. And it's kind of funny. I was like anticipating doing upper body. And I got to the gym and I was wearing like my running shorts, which are like short shorts. I was looking at myself in the mirror, like getting warmed up. And I'm like, man, my legs look really small. So I did legs instead.
Perfect. So now when we're walking around DC all day tomorrow, your legs are going to be super sore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Didn't think about that at all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was fun. I did like a curtsy lunge.
Mm-hmm.
And
That'll burn you up real quick.
yeah, like my hips, like the lateral sides of my hips, or glutes, I guess you could say, are just destroyed.
Yeah.
Like they were hurting all day today. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. I can feel that.
Yeah.
Like even in yoga, like doing that, like body weight, like you can really burn that up. I don't do legs. Cardio and yoga, but anything with weights, I get severe pain. So I'm trying to figure that out, but it has been a journey.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat too, because like I have some aches and pains that I try to work around and maintain. Like my left knee is always like an issue. So it felt pretty good today doing legs though. I didn't have a problem with the knee. But yeah, there's always something that I'm trying to like work around, so I don't enjoy legs as much as I used to. It used to be like my favorite day of the week.
Same. I hated doing upper body.
I used to love getting a leg pump and just throwing weights around, doing tons of deadlifts, squats, leg press, all of it. I loved it. It was the best.
Yep. Now here we are.
Yeah.
But
so.
That's that. That is fitness.
Yep.
So
I was thinking we went to a little party over the weekend and we met some people, random people, and we started talking about some, what would you say, esoteric topics, or asking like, what do you believe in, or
energy,
what are you into?
woo-woo stuff.
Yeah. And it's an interesting conversation to have with a random person you've never met before. And you just kind of like bring it up and see where they're at and if you align with them at all. And you brought up Reiki. And what did you say? You said that I don't believe in it or something? You said that I don't...
It's not your vibe. I don't remember how I said it, but it's not like a thing. Like, it's not your thing.
Yeah, and she
like
asked me...
you don't go do it or anything like that.
And the person we were talking to asked me why. And it was hard to answer. And I don't really know why, other than like religious exemptions. Because I believe in all that type of stuff. I believe in energy work. I believe in frequencies and vibrations and kind of harnessing things, but at the same time, I guess I would say that my answer would be that all of the woo-woo crystal girls and boys, they call on crystals or energy to do their wielding. As a Christian, we call on God, we call on Jesus, who are, the person that I believe in. We call on like that specific person. So that would be my definitive answer of why I would not necessarily pursue that for myself.
But you have some like contradictions there.
Okay.
Because homeopathy is energy. Homeopathy is in the same realm as frequency energy work in a way.
Yeah, but homeopathy comes from plants. Reiki comes from...
Not all of it.
Well, the majority of homeopathy comes from some type of source from the earth.
I mean, a good portion of it, but there are some that don't.
So then I think the Reiki is coming from a person. But
it's not coming from a person. It comes through the person.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue.
Why? You take an energy homeopathically that is prescribed to you from a person's perspective and belief about what you need. So Reiki is just an energy. They are the instrument to get that energy to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just hard to believe.
Yeah, you have skeptical tendencies. But, I mean, I think a lot of Christians would be against Reiki, but I think that, I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I'll get into the weeds and be offending people, but yeah.
What's offensive?
I don't know. I just think, like, I was thinking, what came to mind was I follow somebody and she's a Christian and she was talking about Lionsgate. And all of these Christians were like coming at her for her perspective, which I thought was very balanced and like normal. And it just feels to me very holier than thou. Like I'll see in homeopathy groups, people are like, I need a Christian homeopath because is homeopathy aligned with Christianity, or like it feels wrong or whatever. I just think people are just like trying to be like the best Christian. It's like a competition.
That's definitely true.
I think a lot of it isn't as serious as they make it out to be. They have bad energy.
Like the rules, you mean?
Just the way that people, like speak or act or talk towards somebody else about their beliefs of something.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And especially when it comes to energy.
Yeah, I mean the Reiki one I think is a tough one to try to
I think it's in the realm of astrology though.
I mean it is, but it's also not, because it's very confronting of there's a person that is a mediator between you and this divine energy source. But
well, you can be that for yourself. You don't need a person. You just need to know how to do it.
Yeah, and that's why I said before that Christians, we call on Jesus. We need something. That's our grounded faith. We believe that if we need a healing, if we need some energy, if we need something, we call on Jesus. We don't go to the Reiki practitioner to give us some frequency to get us a bump. We go to Jesus. That's our core thing. And if we're going to somebody to give us something that is a mystical energy that's out there that you can't touch or taste or smell or see.
Homeopathy. I feel like it's hypocritical.
That's a huge difference.
The PEMF mat. Like those are frequencies or energies that you're not getting from Jesus. You said anything that you don't get from Jesus. Well, those would be things you don't get from Jesus. I mean, a lot of Christians feel and think like that. I know they do. And that, like, I think they're crazy, but they're very extreme. And I get it. In the Bible, it says the things, whatever.
It says the things.
Oh, it does. I've read it. I get it. But I don't know. I think there's a difference between certain energy work compared to like psychics, mediums, Akashic records, things like that. Like that is in a different realm, in my opinion, than like a Reiki, a homeopathy, whatever type of energetic work that you're doing.
I definitely wouldn't lump homeopathy and Reiki together.
I mean, they're different, but they're energies.
Yeah, but homeopathy is rooted in like earth and plants and the energy from those things that have a specific reaction. Like if I would go eat some tree bark, that would give me a certain reaction, and then there's a homeopathic remedy made from that same tree bark, it's going to produce the same
most remedies, yes, but these days there are meditative remedies, new earth remedies, remedies that are made from, like, you can't go out and grab the thing.
Right, yeah, I get that. And I think that's
get like the energy from it.
That's a different segment of homeopathy. That's like the people that are into the crystals and all of the Reiki and energy and like meditation and all that type of stuff, they would go down that path.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be classical. Like most of the homeopaths back in the day, which was mostly everybody back in the day, but most of the homeopaths back in the day were like hardcore Christians.
Yeah, they succussed remedies on a Bible.
Yeah, they still do in most of the pharmacies.
Yeah,
so at least the ones I'm aware of.
So I think there's like a...
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I view those type of things differently than I view, like I said, the mediumship and psychic things. Because typically when you're doing that, you're calling in on sources that, like, you're not aware of. Like, it could be, who knows? It could be, like, a dead person. It could be, like, a spirit of some sort, like an entity. Like, you're opening yourself up in a completely different way when you're tapping into those realms compared to like Reiki is like, I don't know, there's like a structure, it's like a specific thing, there's like stuff.
What is it exactly? Explain it to me, because
there's stuff involved with it that like you are not just like kind of opening up and like seeing what you receive.
What are the images that they use?
Well, you're not supposed to talk about them unless you get attuned. So there are different symbols that you receive when you are in class to become a Reiki practitioner. And so different levels, you receive different symbols which are used for different things. And so, I mean, you can if you Google them, you can find them on the internet now, but like most legit Reiki practitioners aren't like spreading them out there unless you're actually getting attuned, because it's like respecting the energy. So there's different symbols connected to different ways to connect to that energy and like a process to do so. And like you're literally just like a channel to like move that energy into yourself or somebody else.
So what is the source?
It's like universal light energy.
Okay. So, and what's the connection with the symbols?
So, like, for example, there's one for like distance healing. So there's a symbol specifically for distance healing. So if you're in Montana and I'm here, like I would initially call on that symbol to like provide that healing to you from a distance. And so there are different symbols for different things that you would call on and use.
So it's like
it's just connecting to that energy, essentially. It's like a phone number. I feel like that's how I look at it. It's like I'm dialing the phone number and then like I'm connected to the person that I'm calling. But it's not a person, it's not an entity, it's literally just energy. It's like sunlight. Sunlight's energy. It's like that's it. There's not like an entity attached to the sunlight. It's literally just like pure source energy. Plus, there are different types of Reiki too. So like now I think there's like angelic Reiki, which I think calls on angels, which that's not my vibe. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like Usui Reiki. That's what I'm talking about. But I know there are like different types, like we're evolving and there are different types.
Mm-hmm.
So angelic Reiki, yeah, they would be calling on angels. Angels aren't my thing. No offense, angels, but like I don't do that. I just use the energy, the end. So I feel like that's different than like you come to me and your long lost cousin died and you want to connect to them.
Definitely.
Because, like, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're calling on the dead.
Yeah, and you're opening yourself up in a different way.
Right.
Like, you're opening yourself up with Reiki, but you're not, like, opening yourself up.
So, what would be the risks of that if there's like a practitioner that might have some negative aspects to their energy or whatever? You know what I mean? Like maybe they have, like, could they have ill intent and give you something bad? You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess. Like, it's like if you speak to plants or if you fill up the jar with the rice and you talk to it, like, two different jars, and you're like, I love you and I hate you, and then, like, see what happens. Like, I guess you could have ill intent and, like, kind of send negative energy to somebody. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but the people that I've worked with, that's not the case. Like, they're very, like, Jesus-like. Especially the one. She's, like, on a different level. Like Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
She's just very, I don't know, high vibe, like, but legit.
Loving.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just think there are different levels to it all. That's all. And so, like, yeah, most Christians probably wouldn't be down with the Reiki, but, like, I don't think it's in the same realm as different stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it makes a little bit more sense to me. I just never really got it. I never got into it. I kind of dismissed it, I guess.
I think a lot of people do, and, like, I've been to practitioners where, like, I'm like, I don't feel anything. And then I've, like, received it from people halfway across the world virtually, and I'm like, oh my God. Just depends on the person, you know?
That's so weird. So they're harnessing source energy through these, like, different methods to get there. Like you said, they're dialing a certain number to call in, phone home, or phoning home.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of just give it out.
Yeah. Yeah, like, goes through your hands into whatever's receiving it. And, like, there's, like, a thing, it's, like, Reiki, like, hot hands, and, like, your hands will get, like, some people who are really tapped in, their hands will get, like, red and hot, but, like, the rest of their body is normal or cold or whatever. Super cool.
Yeah, I guess I think with any skepticism, you can quench that from getting proof or...
Yeah, I mean, you've never done it. You've never, like,
Right.
laid on a table and received it.
Yeah.
So if you went to somebody and you did it, you would be able to feel like, oh, this is a thing.
Now, could you do it on me?
Yeah, I mean, I could do it on Lily, myself, to anybody. Yeah.
We should try it, see if I feel anything.
We should. Definitely. We will report back. I don't know about next week. We have a busy week. But maybe we'll try to do it this week.
Yeah, be cool. So, with other woo-woo topics, Reiki's pretty high up there.
Is it? I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. I mean, there are some practices where I'm like, okay, that's a little too far out there for me, but, like, I don't know. Because, like, I'm thinking, like, psychic-wise, like, we've done animal communicating. Not us doing it, but we've bought it from people.
Yeah.
We've worked with animal communicators and stuff before. So, I don't know. It just depends. What do you think would be too far out there for me?
I don't know. That's why I asked you, because I feel like you're pretty I guess, open to the thought and the belief of it, the concepts of those things. I would say you're pretty open to that.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say it probably just depends on who's offering it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think most people, though, anybody at least that has some type of Christian background or religious background, they would probably steer clear of those topics. And they would be more closed-minded to those things.
I would say for the most part, I know one circumstance where like Christians will kind of stray is like if there's like a huge loss in their family or something. Like I know of Christians who would go to a medium and like
Oh, yeah.
talk to their people or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that type of stuff's all through the Bible.
I mean, I think, I don't, like, I know it's like bad or whatever religiously, but like, I think it could be a very healing experience. And it's like, it's not like you're doing it every day or you're doing it for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're doing it for a specific reason. And like, I think it can help people to like work through the grieving process.
Yeah, that's one thing that is interesting. There's a lot of misconceptions, I feel or like you said earlier, about people kind of just over exaggerating into something.
They just
Like they're looking too far into it.
They immediately write it off as bad. It's like Harry Potter. Like back when it came out, like a bunch of Christians and
Yeah,
stuff were like, it's witchcraft. And it's like, have you read it?
Yeah. But like the religious dismissiveness is an issue, I think, because a lot of it is, I don't know, it's like either one, you don't believe in it at all and you totally write it off as fake or
Which
satanic. It's like, it's satanic,
Yeah.
it's fake, it's whatever, it's not good, and you're going to burn in hell if you do it, and you're going to like write your name in the book of the beast or something, if you try these things. And the Bible is pretty clear about not participating in those types of things because, like I said earlier, as Christians, we are supposed to call on our God. That's what makes us different. If we want to experience those things and get that energy and get a healing or a miracle or whatever it is, there was competitions in the Bible, like our God versus all the other ones. And it's kind of like a funny comedic scene that happens. I forget what book it's in, but it's Elijah. And he's battling with the priests and all the magicians and stuff of the king. And they're like trying to set this pile of wood on fire. And they're like doing all their stuff to like get their gods to light this wood on fire. And I think it's Elijah. But he's like, hey, maybe your gods are sleeping. You should yell louder. And then something later on, he says something about, he makes another joke like that. But then he like starts pouring water and stuff all over his. And they're like looking at him like he's crazy. And then he calls on God and bing, bang, boom, there's a fire. So it's kind of like that is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have that much faith in what we believe in that we don't need all of those other things. Like if we want to go get the energy and all that stuff from an outside source, then we don't really believe in what we believe in. Because if we did have the faith and the belief in Jesus Christ, then we wouldn't seek out other things. We would call on him. And that's like what we're supposed to do. In that moment of like that competition that I was talking about in the Bible, Elijah didn't call on anybody else. He called on his God. And then everybody else was like, oh, like, that's a pretty powerful God you have. And it's like, oh, that changes people's minds. and their perspectives of what you're doing. So that's like what we're supposed to do, but the Bible, it's mostly in the Old Testament. It talks about all the things that you're not supposed to participate in, which I could go on a real long tangent about all of that. Reading a book about it currently, read other books about it, but long story short, angels from heaven that were supposed to be watching over humanity ended up coming down to earth and mating with humans, which gave birth to offspring, which was the giants, which then created this half-breed of a celestial being and an earthly being. So then this new half-breed doesn't have a place to go when it dies. The soul of this half-breed is pretty much damned to earth. And that's where these evil spirits come from, is from this half-breed situation. So these evil spirits, like, that's where all the demon possession stuff comes from in the Bible. And like, you could say, I would say elsewhere, like in the world, these evil spirits of the giants that are still here, they're the ones that are kind of like causing problems. So yeah, that was the Old Testament vibe. So that was pre-flood and after flood. So when you're reading through the Old Testament, you have a lot of that information in there about like, don't do this stuff. These things are bad, because these angels, or the watchers that Enoch refers to them as, they're the ones that he's giving credit to as teaching us humans all of this magical, mystical things. They taught us war, they taught us beautification of women, makeup, necromancy, magic, herbs, astrology, making metal, war. Like, they taught us all of these things. And that's kind of like all through the Old Testament because of that reason. And the New Testament doesn't really call it out as much. I think it does a few times, but it's not like the law, like, it's not part of the law anymore so much as like it is in Leviticus. But I think it's because there's a reason for that. The Old Testament, New Testament, they're different things, blah, blah, blah. But like, Christians, I think, are still very dogmatic about all of that stuff, and they feel like if they like try something, like you were saying, then it's like the worst thing that they could possibly do, and they're gonna go to hell and like die.
Meanwhile,
forever.
they do other things that the Bible says not to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, we have like, you can't measure a certain thing as worse or not. Like, it's about, theologically speaking, Christianity is about your relationship with God. It's a personal one. So if you have a personal relationship with him and you believe in him, then like, that's the source. That's like the important parts. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. So you can't like measure, well, that one time, you went and saw a medium and that's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Like, it's not unforgivable, and it's not that you should like do it all the time, but like, if you're skeptical and you want to experience it, I don't think that it's like something that you're going to be damned for forever.
No.
And I think it would be an interesting experience as a Christian, because a lot of Christians don't even believe in anything.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Like, they don't believe that anything is real, like energy, ghosts, angels. They don't believe in anything. So to experience that, I guess it could be kind of dangerous, because then they would be like, well, everything that I know is wrong because this is real over here because I feel something, right? But then the other side of it would be like, oh wow, like this stuff is real, so that means what I believe in is also real. So it could kind of do both, which is probably why it's kind of like, hey, maybe don't do that. But yeah, that's kind of like my summary of most Christians. And I would say a majority of a lot of people, I guess, even if they're not Christian, I think they're still very skeptical of the energetic world and like the woo-woo stuff. Like, people just don't want to sound crazy.
Well, and it's for good reason, because there are a lot of phonies out there, you know?
Yeah, you'll
Like,
have that.
There's a lot of people that I would be like, nope, definitely not going there. So I understand why that happens because of that. But a book in this realm that I really, really liked was Signs by, is it Laura Lynn Jackson, I think? Very good for like receiving signs from like people who have died or pets or anything like that. I think it brings in some of that, I don't want to use the word magic, but magic, like that, without kind of dipping your toe into the psychic realm, even though she is a medium.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, like the synchronistic people, I feel like that word has been kind of co-opted or like overused. Like everything's a synchronicity in your life.
Yeah, because coincidences don't exist.
Yeah. And that's kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, though, I feel like the word kind of got overused.
A lot of words have been these days.
Yeah.
And music and all the things.
But yeah, I wanted to say something about astrology too. I think a lot of people, well, a lot of this stuff is just like ignorance. Like most of the issues that people have is based on their ignorance to the subject.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think astrology is like, they're like trying to tell you the future or tell you like what you should do or what's going to happen or whatever.
Yeah. Like this on my mug and mugs that we have here, and part of the holy health symbols that we kind of like put into stuff is our astrological signs, which is Sagittarius and you're a Libra. And we kind of put them together to make our symbol. And that's something that I think a lot of it is true. And there's a lot of good information that you can get from it, because it gets deep. It's very, very deep. And there's a lot of weird things that you can connect and feel into. And it's all based off of basically a timestamp of the universe when you were born.
Yeah, I mean,
like this is the information. This is the timestamp, the barcode of the universe when you were born, and this is like for you. Like everybody gets their own barcode,
mm-hmm.
and like,
yeah, it's like the energetic snapshot of when you entered the world, and like, I mean, people obviously believe in the phases of the moon. People obviously believe in the tides of the ocean. People believe in the fact that emergency rooms and hospitals are fuller around the full moon. Like, that's all connected to the stars.
Yeah. And I think, so where I was going was like, there's a difference between astrology and the zodiacs, which they're intertwined, but there's a study of the stars that the ancient Jewish people understood very well, and everybody that was on Earth before technology looked up at the sky and they knew what time it was. It's a clock that is above us, and that's part of astrology, is knowing the seasons, knowing the times, knowing where the stars are, following them, where's the sun during this time of year, what star cluster is it in, and like all of that stuff. Like that is a very important thing to know. And in the book that I'm reading right now, there's a lot of astrological hints that are in the Bible that the people that wrote it knew what they meant when they were writing it. But now when we read it with our modern eye and our modern brains, we glaze over it and we have no idea what they're saying. It's like a huge difference. Like the genealogy of Jesus uses astrology and times of year based off of the stars to identify the actual birth of Christ. And there's people that do the research and they look into all of the things, and that's the book that I'm reading, is the guy that's putting all of these things together. And allegedly, he's saying that the actual birth of Christ was on September 11th. Our calendar. So like based off the time of year, where the stars were, what they said in the text, how that was related, and whatever, he thinks that the month would be our September and the 11th day. Which I thought was pretty crazy. Like, to say Jesus was born on 9/11, and like we all know 9/11 as Twin Towers going down. I just kind of thought it was weird.
I'm trying to find it. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I can't find it.
I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was weird that came out. But yeah, there's a difference between studying the stars and like that type of astrology, which is knowing all of that information. And then there's like the zodiac signs. Like I'm a Sagittarius and I'm all fire. And like,
I mean, I don't think there's
personality traits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, though. Like, because, I don't know, it just seems it's very accurate most of the time. And, like, if that can help you to understand yourself better, then I think that's great. Like, I think you can definitely overdo it and, like, really get too obsessed with it. But I think it's a very interesting way to kind of see, like, how you tick, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, like I mean, I think there's a lot of truth to it, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that, how does this exist? How can this be so true when it's based off of the timestamp of the universe? And yeah, maybe some people don't vibe with it and they're like, I don't match up at all. Like I'm a Sagittarius and I don't experience any of that stuff. There's probably people like that, right? But I feel like a lot of people, though, if they're honest, they would be like, that's kind of weird at how accurate that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just confirmation that things in this universe go way deeper than we perceive them to be.
Oh, for sure.
Because you can be like, my birthday is November 30th, period. And then it's like, it's just flat, But if you're like, my birthday is November 30th, and I was born at this time, and I am this, 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 and this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can connect, I think spiritually, energetically, whatever, so much more because you're like, wow. Like, you feel more connected to the universe, like, not as, like, the woo-woo term, but, like, the universe as it is. Like, the stars, the sun, the moon, nature, everything. It just seems so much more magical.
Yeah, and that's...
And why don't we want to feel more magical?
Right.
It's like, wow, like, that's so cool that I was born at 8:05 a.m. and, like, because in this specific location, and because of that, like, this is how I am. This is my deep core personality, and the way that I feel inside, and the way I show up in the world, and the way that my emotions exist. Like, it's all written in the stars.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of brought this up of like wanting to talk about it, because what did I say? I said listening to Zach Bush on Joe Rogan was like, I don't know, I just thought it was a great conversation, the way that he was talking. And I was like, I kind of miss being like that. I miss that type of vibe and thinking differently.
It feels so much more alive than like your standard Christianity, you know?
Yeah, because most of the stuff that we believe in is based off of death. Everything is based off of the death half of the wave. If we're going to Walter Russell teachings here on the wall, there's two waves here, and one is death, one's life, and everything in modern society is based off death.
Definitely.
Antibiotics kill everything. We want to kill this. We're going to kill
Glyphosate.
plants. We're going to kill everything.
Yep.
We're going to kill other people. We're going to kill this. Like, everything is dead. And like the stars, oh, they're just stars. Like, those are actually millions and millions and millions of years away. They're actually probably not even, you can't even really see. They're probably dying right now and whatever. Like, they just like dumb it down and make it seem not as cool. And I want things to seem cool again.
Yeah.
Because whenever I was like really into this type of stuff, I was like reading Walter Russell, and just kind of like in that world more. I was more submerged into that type of speak, and just like those types of teachings and different things. I appreciated nature and the stars so much. Like, I was connected. I was in a position where I was pretty much at the same place every day, all day. So, and that was like for 5 years straight. And while learning this type of stuff, that was probably about 3 years of that time, I started to get into this type of stuff. And I was able to track where the moon would be. Is it going to be half? Is it crescent? Is it a new moon? Is it a full moon? Where's the sun at? Where are the stars? Like, I was able to track. I could watch the sky move because I was at the same place every day, and I was constantly looking up. And I was constantly just like in reverence to everything above me.
Yeah.
And I was like connected to it. I felt super in touch with nature and life and the universe and source energy and all the things that you want to say.
And that's the goal.
Yeah, and it feels so much different than how I feel now.
Same. I'm trying to get back to it, but whew.
Because now, like, I was on a walk, or I was outside or something. I think I might have been taking Lily out, and it was a beautiful night. And I was just like looking up, and I'm like, I don't even know anything about.
Like, where's the Big Dipper?
I feel like I've lived.
I can't identify anything.
I've lived in this location for like 3 years now.
Yeah, well, 3.5. Probably.
And I don't know anything about where the sun's gonna be at. Where's the moon usually at during this time? Like, I haven't kept track of any of that stuff, and I'm totally like, I'm tuned out. And I don't know. I feel like that affects you.
Oh, definitely. I think that's a huge part of the reason that I feel the way that I feel, but I don't know how to get back to it personally. But when you feel connected in those ways, like, it just, there's like something in you that like wakes up.
Yeah, I think your soul is on fire. Like, I mean, it's a form of gratitude, right? Because you're experiencing the reverence of the universe, and you're grateful, and you're just like, wow. You're experiencing that awe of everything that's happening all at once without us even being able to feel it. It's just happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think the soul feels that. And it could be like a vitality thing, like your vitality meter goes up a little bit
Definitely.
when you're tuned in. When you're not tuned in, it kind of dulls out.
For sure. I believe that completely. And I think that's why so many people kind of reach for, well, I think normal people reach for substances, food, whatever, to like mimic that, but you can't. Like, it's not possible. And that's why I feel like a lot of spiritual people are constantly like seeking, like they're seekers, like they're going to this psychic and they're going to Reiki and they're doing this regression and like this and that, so that they can like get like a hit of that. But like, I think the long standing tune up of that comes from connecting to nature and using those practices. Like the astrology, looking at the sun, looking at the moon, looking at the stars, like getting in like rivers and lakes and like just kind of like being in the sun, like all of the things are like helping you to truly be alive.
Mm-hmm. Because all of those things are also alive.
Yeah. And it's all connected, obviously, because of your snapshot of when you were born and how connected everything is to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it was super interesting when I did LSD. Everything was alive. And I went for a hike in the woods, barefoot, like walking in the mud and looking at like just random plants or like a little mud puddle and the sunlight and the wind and all of these things were happening all the time and everything was just like vibrating.
And it's doing that without the drug stimulation. Like that's happening.
Yeah, like the
right
LSD
now.
allowed me to kind of...
Like you could tap into that.
Yeah, my veil of human zoo animal dropped.
Yeah.
And I was able to see what things actually are doing.
Yeah.
Like I got to see behind the veil.
Yeah. Like that's the existence outside your door. But like you can't see that because of all of the things that we kind of cloud our windows with.
Yeah, and I think like for me the past 3 years, like having to go to a job that I don't like and don't care about, and like I don't get to I don't know. I don't get to like figure out. I guess my mind is just too cluttered with stuff that doesn't matter. I'm on the go. I'm not here every day when the sun comes up or whatever. Like I'm somewhere else.
Well, and what you do does not make you feel alive.
Yeah.
And you are like way above like working there. Like you are way better than that job, working that job. No offense to anybody who works there, but you are meant for more. And you obviously know that. So when you show up there every day, there's like a part of you that's inside that is like dimming because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I felt it over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Like becoming a normie again.
Yeah.
And that's been like kind of a joke between us.
I mean, in ways I've like craved that and I think it's been really good. But when it comes to like career and what you're doing every single day, it's not good.
No.
If you're going to eat some seed oils once or twice a week or like watching TV on a Saturday night, like that's the type of normie that I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah.
But if we're getting our soul sucked through a job that we, you know, could do better than, then that's a different ballgame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be different if you're getting your soul sucked and you're making a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. It makes it worth it, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I sacrificed that, but then I have all of this.
Right.
I can do these things.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, I think today I just kind of wanted to have a conversation about the woo-woo stuff. As we were talking earlier, that the preconceived notions that people have about this subject matter, all of the different types of things that can be kind of lumped into the woo-woo. And some people can lump in some pretty average stuff as woo-woo. And other people are like, they're way out there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it in different ways to try to like break down the preconceived notions a little bit, to get people to kind of think about it differently, because the holy health lifestyle, the reason why we kind of called it holy, the word holy, is because of this subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you make your life holy? What's the point of your life? What are you doing in your everyday life that you're like, wow, that's amazing, that you can appreciate? Like, you can look up at the stars and be like, that's amazing. I don't know how any of that's working, but it's working every day. Things are moving every day. There's crazy stuff happening up there I have no clue about, and I'm down here just living my life. Like, how can you have that same reverence in your life?
I feel like that's why travel is so important to me, because I can have that wow with going different places.
Yeah.
But I will use an example here. So we have like a ditch that has water in it, and there are frogs that live in this ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And so like twice a day I walk Lily, and like we always stop and look at these frogs, and I'm always like, oh my god, look at the frogs. It's like a thing. Like, I love to see the frogs.
Yeah.
So you can do something as small as that.
Yeah, and like the word for that would be sensuality, where you're tapping into the senses of your body and like what God gave you. Of, I'm seeing that, it looks beautiful, and you have like this curious wonder of like, maybe I want to hold the frog, and I want to feel the frog, and I want to look at the frog, and it's just like this crazy, wonderful living being that you have no clue about, and it just exists. And you're like, how does it exist? What happens if a storm comes through and they're still here? What does it do? How does it go into the water?
Yeah,
And
I have many
just, like,
frog questions.
yeah. But yeah, you're just kind of like really feeling into your senses of that experience, and you're like happy. It makes you happy.
Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot. I do that with mushrooms, like growing in the yard and different things like that. But
yeah, you're looking at the beauty of nature and life itself, that it's just like amazing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, how does this mushroom grow? And look how big it is. And look at the whatever's on, I don't know the anatomy of the mushrooms, but like, look at the thing on the mushroom and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy, free, small scale way to start.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's part of the holy health lifestyle, is tapping into that. I keep saying the word, but it's a good word, the reverence of nature and life and everything that exists without us even knowing or doing anything. It's just happening. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
But trying to do it, living that lifestyle is a lot harder than it seems. But
if you have some big things out of alignment, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be something that can be very helpful too, to get you out of a rut. If your soul is getting sucked, tapping into that can definitely increase that vitality again. Get that boosted. For sure.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
That's that.
Yeah. And with that, leave us a rating and review. Share the show with somebody that you know that could benefit from hearing this. And we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.